Burglar Bill by Janet and Allan Ahlberg. I love the Ahlbergs. They write some great books, or they did anyway.
Got a mask on.
Burglar Bill lives by himself in a tall house full of stolen property.
Ooh.
Every night he has stolen fish and chips and a cup of stolen tea for supper. Then he swings a big stolen sack over his shoulder and goes off to work, stealing things.
Every morning, Burglar Bill comes home from work and has stolen toast and marmalade and a cup of stolen coffee for breakfast. Then he goes upstairs and sleeps all day in a comfortable stolen bed.
How do you reckon he stole the bed?
Well, he burgled it.
And why has he got a chamber pot underneath?
In case he needs to go wee-wee in the night.
Yeah, but most people go to the toilet to go wee-wee in the night.
Well, he hasn't stolen the toilet.
Why has he got 6 dozen hairnets? Packets of hairnets, even.
Because
he hasn't got an awful lot of hair.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't just steal what he needs.
Do you think he stole the cat?
He steals everything.
The
cat's a burglar as well as a cat burglar.
Ah, okay.
Oh, you got one there.
One night,
That teacher for picking holes in the story.
Burglar Bill is working in a little street behind the police station.
Yeah.
When he comes to the first house, he climbs in through the bathroom window and shines his torch around.
What? You know what I mean? Oh. That's a nice toothbrush,
Says Burglar Bill,
I'll have that.
and he puts it into his sack. When he comes to the second house, he climbs in through the kitchen window and shines his torch around.
That's a nice tin of beans,
Says Burglar Bill,
I'll have that.
and he puts it into his sack. When he comes to the third house, he climbs in through the bedroom window and shines his torch around.
That's a nice hat and coat and a pair of trousers and socks and shoes.
Says Burglar Bill,
I'll have them.
and he puts them into his sack. These people leaving their windows open.
Yeah.
They obviously don't live in London.
No. You wouldn't leave your windows open in London.
When he comes to the 16th house, he stops. There on the front step is a big brown box with little holes in it.
That's a nice big brown box with little holes in it.
Says Burglar Bill.
I'll have that.
In the distance, the town hall clock strikes 5.
Time to stop work.
Says Burglar Bill. He swings the sack over his shoulder, picks up the box and goes home to have breakfast.
After breakfast, Burglar Bill plays with his cat by the fire. Suddenly he hears a noise. Sounds like a police car, says Burglar Bill.
Nino, Nino.
But the noise is coming from the big brown box and it is getting louder.
Nino, Nino.
Sounds like 2 police cars, says Burglar Bill. He creeps up to the box and raises the lid. Blow me, Dan, he says. It ain't no police car, it's a...
Fire engine?
Oh. Baby!
Burglar Bill puts the baby on the table.
What is you doing in that box, baby?
He says, but the baby only keeps on crying.
All alone?
Says Burglar Bill. He pats the baby's little hand.
An orphan?
So, do you want to try that again?
An orphan?
Do you want to try it third time, Lucky?
An orphan?
Orphan.
That's not how they talk it in our language.
Yeah, well, okay.
In our accent, it's an orphan.
Okay, that don't make sense. But the baby only keeps on crying. Then Burglar Bill says,
I know what you want. Grub. Burglar Bill gives an apple to the baby, but still the baby cries. He gives a slice of toast and marmalade to the baby, but still the baby cries. He gives a plate of beans and a cup of tea to the baby. The baby eats the beans, throws the cup of tea on the floor and starts to laugh. It's bitter, says Burglar Bill. I like a few beans myself. Yum yum.
Burglar Bill sits by the fire and wonders what to do. The baby is crying again. He gives the baby a football to play with. The baby throws the football at the cat and keeps on crying. He gives the baby a book to look at. The baby bites a hole in the book and keeps on crying. He sings a song and plays the piano to the baby. The baby cries louder than ever. He falls off the piano stool and bangs his nose on the floor. The baby laughs and shouts, "Again!"
Again?
Says Burglar Bill. He rubs his nose.
I didn't want to do it the first time. but he's a jolly good fellow. That's what he's singing. That.
What in?
Burglar Bill bounces the baby on his knee. So you can talk, he says. Say, Burglar Bill,
Burglar boy,
says the baby. Say, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, says the burglar.
Burglar boy.
Says the baby. Suddenly, Burglar Bill feels his knee getting wet, and he smells the smell. Pooh, he says. I know what you want.
Pooh,
says the baby. Burglar Bill changes the baby's nappy. He doesn't have another one, so he uses an old bath towel instead. Say, for he's a jolly good fellow for changing my nappy, says the Burglar Bill.
Burglar Bill plays with the baby and shows it round the house. He feeds it again, changes its nappy again, washes its clothes and hangs them on a line in the kitchen.
When night comes, he takes the baby for a walk in the park. Say, run for it if you see anybody, says Burglar Bill.
Run for it.
The baby says.
At 12 o'clock, Burglar Bill comes home, puts the baby to bed and goes to bed himself. Soon he is snoring softly and dreaming of his childhood days. Suddenly he wakes up. Downstairs,
What?
there is a noise.
It is a noise that Burglar Bill has heard before. The noise of someone opening a window and climbing in carefully. Blow me, Dan, says Burglar Bill. I'm being burgled.
Burglar Bill creeps to the top of the stairs. Down below, a torch is shining and a voice says, "That's a nice umbrella. I'll add that." Burglar Bill creeps down the stairs. The voice says, "That's a nice tin of beans. I'll add that."
Burglar Bill creeps along the hall and into the kitchen. The voice is,
"That's a nice date and walnut cake with buttercream filling and icing on the top. I'll definitely have that."
Burglar Bill puts on the lights. Ooh. There, with a black mask over her eyes and her hand in the bread bin, stands a lady. "Who are you?" says Burglar Bill.
"I'm Burglar Betty."
Says the lady.
"Who are you?"
Burglar Bill puts on his own mask.
"Oh,
Says Burglar Betty.
I know you. It's Burglar Bill. I've seen your picture in the Police Gazette."
Then she says,
"Look here. I'm ever so sorry breaking in like this. If I had have known..."
"Don't mention it," says Burglar Bill. He holds out his hands. "Pleased to meet you,"
"Likewise, I'm sure."
Burglar Betty says. Burglar Bill makes a jug of cocoa and opens a packet of ginger biscuits.
Yum.
The two burglars sit round the kitchen table.
"You married, Bill?"
Says Burglar Betty. "Nah," says Burglar Bill. "The right woman never comes along." He offers the biscuits to Burglar Betty. She takes one and dips it in her cocoa.
"Only, I just wondered,
She says,
seeing those baby things..."
"Oh, I've got a baby.
says Burglar Bill.
Found it on a doorstep in a box."
"In a box?" says Burglar Betty.
"That's right.
Says Burglar Bill.
A big brown box with little holes in it."
"A big brown box with little holes in it," says Burglar Betty.
"That's right."
Says Burglar Bill. "Well, blow me down," says Burglar Betty. "That baby's mine." The two burglars hurry upstairs to the baby's room.
"That's him." "Oh, no, that's you."
"That's him," says Burglar Betty. She swings the baby in the air. "You see, he's got this little birthmark on his leg, and these are his own little clothes as well, what his grandma knit him." "Why did she leave him in a box on a doorstep?"
Well, maybe it weren't her doorstep. Maybe she left it out there while she was burgling the house.
I don't know. I think we should be finding social services, don't you?
Crack on.
Back in the kitchen, Burglar Bill.
CPS in America.
Okay. Makes a fresh jug of cocoa and opens a packet of arrowroot biscuits. I haven't seen them in ages.
No.
Meanwhile, Burglar Betty tells him how she lost the baby. "You see, I just left him on the doorstep for a minute while I was burgling the house, and when I came out, he's gone. Thought the police had got him." That's you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh. "I only thought it was a useful sort of box,"
Says
Burglar Bill. I never knowed there was a baby there until I got it home. Burglar Betty gets ready to leave. I suppose your husband will be glad when you get back, says Burglar Bill.
No, I won't,
says Burglar Betty.
I ain't got no husband.
She dabs a little hanky to her eyes.
You see, I'm a widow lady. Burglar Bill walks through the town with Burglar Betty and the baby.
You know, Betty,
He says,
getting burgled like that gave me a fright.
I know what you mean, says Burglar Betty. Losing my baby like that gave me a fright,
I can see the error of my ways.
says Burglar Bill.
I've been a bad man.
Me
Bad man.
Me
I've been a
too.
bad man.
Me too, says Burglar Betty. I've been a bad woman. I've been a terrible woman.
Mm-hmm. Just then, the baby starts to cry.
Shh.
Oh, says Burglar Betty.
You'll have the police after us.
Burglar Bill looks over his shoulder. From now on, I'm going to lead an honest life, he says. And all them things I pinched,
All them things I've pinched as well,
says Burglar Betty. All them things, says Burglar Bill. Mine and yours, Betty. We're going to take them back.
What about the stuff they've eaten? They can't do that.
Well, there's one way of doing
That wouldn't be right, no, baby.
that. Oh, look, there's the wee pot
Yeah, it's from HMS Eagle. Eagle.
for the porthole, look. Goldfish gone back into the pond in the town centre.
Yeah.
Toothbrush back. Put the policeman's helmet back.
Yeah.
And the piano. They won't have anything left.
Oh.
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 Oh. Dun, dun. Dun,
No,
dun,
I was just going to say, you almost
did
did
the
it.
funeral march then. That's what we played at our wedding, the funeral march. Dun, 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 dun,
I actually, no,
dun,
that's
dun.
Darth Vader's music, isn't it?
No, that's not.
He sounds a bit like Darth Vader's music.
No.
Yes. Go on. I swear I love you, baby.
So, Burglar Bill stops being a burglar and after a time starts working as a bread man in a local bakery. Burglar Betty stops being a burglar as well, and when spring comes, she sells her house and gives the money to the police benevolent fund. Then she's married to Burglar Bill. Outside the church, Bill stands with the baby in his arms. Say, Bakery Bill, he says.
Bakery Bill.
Says the baby. Say, for he's a jolly good fellow for marrying my mum, says Bill.
Say, for she's a jolly good fella for marrying him,
says Betty. In the distance, the town hall clock strikes 4. Bill, Betty and the baby leave the church, walk down the little street behind the police station and go home to have their tea.
Did they have beans?
Oh, it's finished.
Oh,
Well done.
beans on toast, you reckon?
Could be.
Oh, yeah, la, 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 la.
Yalla. Yalla.
No, that was yeah, la, 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 la.
No, yalla. Hurry up.
Yeah, okay.
If you like it, click the thumbs up. If you want to get more, click subscribe.
Because it's free.
And when you click on the subscribe, you'll get the bell. Click on the bell and then the word all. And then YouTube will let you know next time we do a book, which would be... Have we got another one?
Yeah, we got another
Been
one.
about 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe. And then if you click on that, you can share it with all your sherries.
On social media.
Yeah.
Because sharing is caring.
And caring is sharing.